Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 with our realistic series. August. Oh yeah, I put the eggs in there, didn't I? 1 pallet of eggs. Right. You've got 700 litres, you're absolutely fine. And I want to go here to this one. We have 2 fields that are now ready to harvest. So those we're going to treat those crops as cash crops, so we'll just be selling them as and when we can. So chickpeas, the best time to sell those is December. Lentils is also the same. I don't know which one of those it will be, but we'll wait until December and then we will take everything and we will sell it. So to start with, I'm going to want... You know, I'm actually tempted to not use a tractor for this, but instead to use the lorry and the trailer that we've got there. So that we've got more that we're taking per run. We don't have an overloader. I mean, yeah, technically you would do it with an overloader. You would overload the... You'd have the auger wagon, and you would load into the auger wagon from the combine, and then you'd go out from there. I think what we'll do is we'll head down here, and we'll do field 23 first, and then we'll come back over, and we'll do field 24 after that. So I want to swing out round this way, like this, and head off up the road towards the lane over here. Put our flashers on, and then we want to head down the road this way. So I still need to decide what trailer I'm going to have. We used the tractor in our tipper trailer last time, so I'm kind of wanting to use the lorry this time, especially as we're a bit further away. Well, it's not much different to the barley, and it's a bit of a run to come back through. The tipper lorry, the bulker on the lorry takes a lot more. So it seems like it might be a better option. Now, where am I going to put this trailer so that I can unload it and also it's out of the way? We'll go up here, like this, and we'll reverse it back round here. Now, I've no idea if we're going to be left with any straw from either the chickpeas or the lentils. I have absolutely no clue on that part. I'm going to bring you round at an angle like that, there. And we'll unhitch it there, and then I can start unfolding our combine. There we go. Swing you round this way. Try to avoid hitting the trees. I haven't hit any trees today. I feel that is noteworthy. I don't always hit the trees. Right, let's hook you up on there, and then back round over here, and we are away. Right, let's get this one started. There. Oh, wait. You know what I want to do? Because I changed that over, because, like, I always feel that's a good thing to go and do. So if I change it... It has let me do it, so that does suggest that maybe chickpeas leave straw behind. Let's see. Carry on through. We are leaving straw behind on the chickpeas. Now, I don't know if I've... Because there is a mod that allows you to get straw from all crops. Well, at least from canola and soybeans. I haven't tested it on... corn yet, on the maize, so I don't quite know if it will do it on that, but it does definitely work on canola and also on soybeans. I have tried it on that. Now this here, we're already at 1,000 litres, so chickpeas we do seem to get quite a bit, and as we've got the straw as well, we're going to need a baler. I did have a baler, but I only leased that just temporarily because I didn't think that we would get straw from this field. Now, yes, admittedly, if we do take the straw from the field, it means that we're not going to be able to have the fertilizer left behind, and we will have to go and fertilize this field twice instead of just the once, but that's fine. I'd rather have the straw, because the straw equals money. We can either keep hold of some of it for bedding for the animals, pigs or the cattle, whichever we decide we're going to have first, or we can go and sell it as another bit of cash to go with the cash crop that we're getting right now. Just there. It does bulk out the side a little bit, doesn't it? Like, where it's hanging over, I've got like the edge of my header there, on the edge of where you can see the crop, going through all these bushes and that, and it seems to be over a lot further than the actual crop itself is. Which is quite remarkable. So it means it's quite sort of a bulky, bushy type of crop. I don't know if it really is. I have never ever had chickpeas in real life as a crop that I've had anything to do with farming. I think I've eaten chickpeas before now, probably not intentionally, but I've never had anything to do with actually farming these. I do think that I'm still of two minds as to whether I should have the tractor up here and the trailer that we were using last time, or if I should go and get the lorry and the big trailer that we've got there. You know what? I tell you what we'll do. We'll get up to the other end, or when we've filled this one up, and then I'll compare the trailers. It's a bit like compare the meerkats, only it's trailers, and there's no animal pun. Compare the trailer. See, compare the market, compare the meerkat. That works. But, and for those of you in a different country, I don't know if compare the meerkat is something that is only in the UK, or if it is international or not. I suspect that it's only in the UK. But I don't know if there's an animal. What can you say instead of the trailers? Is there any animal that sounds even remotely similar to trailer? I don't think there is. There probably is some obscure... People who speak other languages, whether you have English as your first language and you speak others, or English is your second or third or fourth or 10th language, whatever it might be. I know people who tell me they're no good at speaking languages. They're no good at learning languages. They're just no good at languages at all. And English is their third language. How can you tell me that English is your third language and you're no good at languages? I'm calling you out on this. If you speak 3 languages, you're good at languages. Right? The end of. It might have been... admittedly, it may not be, the easiest thing to do to go and learn 3 languages. It's probably not in the slightest. I can't even speak 2 languages. I can only speak 1, just. But it's still an impressive feat. And saying that you're no good at languages when you can speak 3, I'm not buying it. I'd say you're actually pretty good. I'd say there's a talent there. But anyway, I digress. Those of you who do speak other languages, is there any animal in any of your languages that sounds similar to the word trailer? Because I want to compare the trailers, but like we have this thing which is compare the market, which I think is an insurance thing. It might not be insurance, it might be something else. But anyway, you basically, the adverts are all these meerkats, and the meerkats talk to each other. One's called Sergey, and I can't remember what the other one's called. But they... there's been compare the meerkats adverts going on for a very long time, and I think they're absolutely wonderful. I love the compare the meerkat adverts. I think they're amazing, and I really like them. So I'm curious, one, if anyone else has ever heard of it. If you live outside of the UK, are you familiar with compare the meerkats? And also, is there any animal that sounds similar to a trailer, so that we can have compare the not trailer, but the animal that is associated with it.com. That's what I want to do right now, because I'm about to compare the trailers. So I want to go actually into here, and then I want to go into owned items, trailers, right there. See where we're going? Wait, we've got these? Oh! I think it's 2 of these that we've got. They're both on Coronella. This one's 25.5 cubic meters, and this one is... That's the flatbed one. So we could actually go and join the 2 together. That's something that we could do. We could join the 2 together. This one is 58 cubic meters. This one is 25.5. So if I joined those 2 together, they're still not going to equal the cramper trailer that we've got. which is sitting in our shed. So actually the lorry does win out. Even if we were to take both of our trailers, put the high sides on this one that is currently a bale trailer, and put them one behind the other, still they wouldn't be as big as that trailer there. However, it does seem like it's better suited, because like you wouldn't really be driving through the fields with the lorry. Although, that being said, our lorry has got these... It's not our lorry. There's our lorry. Our lorry has got these wheels on it, right? It's got agri wheels, so it's meant for this. This is its time to shine. So I am actually going to do this today. Look at those agri wheels. This is what it's meant for. We'll do it. I'm not going to do this very often because realistically, the compression in the field, the compaction in the field caused by the wheels. So if those of you aren't familiar with such terms, you don't want to have really heavy machinery in the field unless you've absolutely got to. And if you do, you want to have really wide tyres. Now, I've got wide tyres on this trailer and also on the lorry itself. There's agri wheels on there. They're wide wheels. It spreads out the weight of the vehicle and the trailer so that you get less compaction of the soil. If the soil gets compacted down too much by the machinery going over it, it hinders its ability to allow the crops to grow, and you have problems with it. So you don't want that. You don't want to be hindering the crop's ability to grow in your fields. That is the last thing you want. So you wouldn't normally be driving up and down the field with this. You would have a tractor which can spread its weight out. I mean, the tractor might weigh the same, but the wheels are bigger and they're generally wider as well. They're specifically, the wheels are now very carefully engineered to spread the weight of the tractor out as much as possible. And also you'd have an auger wagon, which is a smaller trailer. So you wouldn't have all of this weight just focused onto that little bit there. That being said, this one time we will permit ourselves, and then in future I will probably string the two trailers together and we'll do it like that. Now I'm going to stop this one here. We're going to jump out. We're going to go over to this one like this. And there we have our first load of chickpeas into the lorry. And now we've got to keep going. So we'll put that one back and probably, yeah, rip it off on the side of the combine, which is the trailer rather. It's not really the way to go. And we will head off again. I'm going to do 3 times around the outside edge of this field. And then once I've done that, we will entrust the rest of the harvest to the hired help, and we will help to keep them running while we're doing it. Now, eventually, my aim will be to have a second combine. So, quite often, I get to this point where I feel that we need another combine, and you're torn between running 2 combines at once or having a much bigger combine. In this instance, I think 2 combines rather than a much bigger one is going to be the better option because of the small roads that are difficult to maneuver around. A much bigger combine than this is going to be very difficult to get from field to field, whereas the second combine is going to be much easier to move from field to field. And also we can then, you know, if you've got a second combine, you can be working in 2 fields at once if you don't feel the need to be covering one field with both of them, if you don't want to focus on one at a time. So we could also do that as well. So it gives us additional options if we were to get an extra combine. So I'm thinking that's probably the way that we're going to head. Not quite sure yet what combine we get, whether we get another one that's the same or we go for something a little bit different. I mean, we could go for a different one and one that is slightly bigger than this. That could also work. We have many options. This field is bigger than you think, although it's sort of the shape of it, they're going around the outside rounds of it. That's the bit that takes the time. It is a time-consuming process. Now, there was in FS19, FS17, and FS15 the AI vehicle extension, which was a mod that I used and used and used and used, and I thought that it was absolutely amazing, because unlike Courseplay, you didn't have to program in a whole load of extra stuff to it. All you had to do was put the vehicle in the field and set it going. That was it. There was no setup involved. You just press the hired help and off it went. And instead of doing what the hired help does in the base game, which is just move up and down the fields, it instead would follow the outside contours of the field. Unless you pressed the second button, you could choose between going around the outside or moving up and down the middle of the field, and that was it. You didn't have to program stuff, you didn't have to load courses and figure courses out and stuff like that. So what I don't like about Courseplay is it takes ages to figure it all out and decide what's going on and where it's going and all the rest of it, and it just doesn't, it's never felt right to me. However, saying that, I am possibly going to give it a go on this series, purely because if I don't have the other mod that I really like, the AI vehicle extension, because I don't think that it's been done at all for this version of the game, unfortunately, which is a real shame. I really do wish it had been. Then Courseplay might be the option that we need in order to be able to allow me to sort of leave the hired help to get on with stuff. I'm not interested in having Courseplay and set up masses and masses of, because I have tried that before, where you have Courseplay set up so that the tractor then follows along after the combine, unloads it while it's going around the field, and everything coordinates. And I spent more time sorting out vehicles that are driven into the ditch or driven into trees or just driven into each other than I did anything else, and it just, that's what irritates me. I'm forever troubleshooting on it. And if you're trying to play in a realistic fashion, you're not going to be employing a load of people that spend all their time with a nose in a ditch. Yes, I understand that sometimes a combine harvester or a tractor does get thirsty and requires a drink, but I don't think that driving it into the ditch is the best approach to solving that problem. Usually you want to stick a bit of fuel in the thing, and that generally does do what you need it to do. So yeah, that's why I'm against Courseplay in general. But that being said, I could still see my way clear to putting Courseplay on and only using it for harvesters, which is pretty much how I would use the AI vehicle extension, provided that Courseplay is easy to use for harvesters. I don't imagine it will be, though. Probably some hidden difficulty in there that makes it way more complex than it should be. Same as it seems to have been. I've been told, I've been lulled into this many times previously. Use Courseplay. It's really simple. It's really easy. It works beautifully. You hardly ever have to touch it. And so then I install it and I do the things that the people have said that I should do, and it does not run smoothly. It is not easy to set up. Nothing happens like it should do, and everything just spends its whole time going wrong. So unless you actually sit and nurse all of the machinery that is going around the field and follow them and help them and all the rest of it, Courseplay is no different to the standard AI, the standard hired help. You still have to nurse it and help it. At least with the AI, if you do a few times around the outside edge of the field yourself, then you could just leave it go. You don't have to worry about it. Well, generally, we all know that's not entirely true, because it still has issues, but a lot of those issues stem from either the angle of the field or the fact that I haven't left enough headland, and because I've been impatient and I haven't wanted to go around the outside edge of the field enough times to make sure there's enough room for the machine to turn around. Because that's one thing that the AI really needs in this game, is enough room to turn around on the headlands. I have been repeatedly disappointed every single iteration of Farming Simulator since FS13 was, well, I was playing that and FS15 came out. Every single iteration of the game, they've said there's improvements to AI behavior. and they have not yet put combines that will drive themselves around the outside edge of a field, following the edge of the field. Despite the fact that there's been a mod that has been doing that for many years now, in many versions of the game, the code is there. Giants frequently use mods and add them into the base game. It's something that they do, and it's something that they've claimed the right to be doing when they make the game. If you make a mod for the game, Giants reserves the right to take that mod and use it in the game, and that's just one of the agreements that you sign when you buy the game in the first place. So they can add it in. They don't even have to go through any legal proceedings in order to do it. They could have that in the game. They could have the combines taking themselves around the outside edge of the field, so that you don't have to do this bit manually if you don't want to. And I do get that there are people who don't like using hired help. I know that there are people who don't like using hired help at all, because occasionally on some of my videos, especially with the time-lapse stuff, I have people going in there saying, "I'm never watching you again because you're cheating, you're using hired help." I'm not quite sure how having employees on your farm is cheating, but that's what I've been accused of. Cheating because I use hired help. Usually I just wish them well and then ignore it completely, because I think that that's a bit daft. But I do wonder what goes on that a person would consider that particular act to be cheating. That seems to be a little bit extreme, considering that people add mods into the game, and a mod changes the game from what the game was originally. You're changing the game and you're adding something to it. So surely that could also be classed as cheating. And to be honest, I don't class anything as cheating if it's not affecting other people's gameplay. I've seen other games. I used to do a game called Gold Rush, and there were people on there who used to get really angry at the suggestion of larger machines on there, because they had gone and cleared the entire gold claim area with a digger that had a set size bucket on it, and if a bigger one was added into the game, it would take away from what they had already achieved. Keep in mind that this is a single player game, and that nobody is ever actually going to see what they've done. It's not a competitive thing. I mean, yes, they've now added a competitive thing into Gold Rush, but I really did struggle to understand the logic behind that one. That was one that I did struggle to understand a little bit. So, what I think I'm going to do here is we're just going to go across the field right here where I am at the moment. It's probably going to try and turn to the right-hand side, which is fine. I'm actually going to stop the hired help there, and I'm going to go straight on here over to here. So I'm hoping it's going in a straight line-ish. And then I'm going to drop it in there, and I'm going to press the hired help again, so it goes up there on that bit. And there's method to my madness. Because I want to do this in long runs on this field, and I think this is actually going to be better if I do it on long passes on the field. So I'll start another one there, and I'll just gather up that little bit, because it's not very much there. And then I'll just lift that one up. And drop out that little tiny bit of straw right there. Get that with the baler when we come back through, and then we'll go on up here. So there's a couple of different types of balers. I was probably just going to use the same baler that I used last time, because it's nice and cheap to lease, and so it's not going to cost us a whole load of money to be able to use that baler. I think that one will be a really good one to use. So I'm going to take out this little bit here, and then the other stripe that's right beside us as well, once I've got to the end here, like that. And I'll back up, and that should be one more pass on that bit. And then I can set the hired help going again, and I'm hoping... Well, I don't think the hired help will actually go all the way across the field yet, but it might. There is a possibility there that the hired help will be able to do all of that by itself. That's kind of what I'm hoping. We're going to find out in a minute. And we'll also see if where I went into the crop up the other end is lined up or not. So we'll just stop there and allow the little bit to accumulate on the floor. I'll put the spout out. Yes, I should probably reverse up to it, but I'm going to do it this way around because I can. We'll dump in another little bit that we've got. It's not very much, but then I've got an empty tank before I head off across the field. So if I go up to here, right, that's not quite going to do an extra pass. So I'm going to give us a little bit more room on it here, like this. And then I'm going to set the hired help going. It's going to go up to there like that. And if we look, it is lined up nice and straight. So I'm not quite taking a full width on there. I did that deliberately because I'm not sure if I did keep it properly straight up the other end. But I do think, actually, that it's going to be able to go up because there's not enough room for it to turn round there and then have a full width on the header. So what it should do now is pick up the combine, pick up the header. It should drive up there to the next bit, and then it will stop. What it usually does is it drives too fast, like that. So we'll reverse up, and yeah, I know I've got the, I think I do. Crop destruction should be turned off because it destroys too much crop. I just want to double check. I want easy arm controls. Seasonal growth. Crop destruction is off. Yes, right, excellent. And yeah, because it goes so fast when it goes whizzing over, it generally causes it to like just tick on a little bit too much. But it did stay fairly straight on there. So now we'll come back through, and this time it's going to be a full width of crop all the way back through. I mean, it's not quite going to be a full width over the little dip bit up there, but everything should be all tickety-boo with that. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. And then we get to see our combine go all the way back up through. I'm not quite sure how much we've got in the trailer, but we'll add that to our total up there. Let's have it out like that, I think, for a minute. And I just want to have a quick look in here. So chickpeas and lentils at the moment, we don't have anything of those in storage. So we'll be adding those, which means that when we come to our next potential disaster, which is at the end of August, we're 3 for 3 on disasters at the moment. We had disease in the field, and then we had one where we lost some soybeans in the field as well. I don't remember what the other one was, because I've had 3 things go wrong. I don't remember what the last one was. Does anyone else remember? I think I lost some more money on something else. I lost money on something, but I can't remember what it was. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.